Hello, dear students. You are again very welcome in this class. This is lecture number 3rd of this amazing topic acid, base, and salt. So, let's begin this. Okay, so we will try to understand the concept of indicators. Okay, this is our first topic in today's lecture. So what are the indicators? So the chemical substances which help to detect nature of the other chemicals are known as indicators. Because I told you that there are two type of nature, acid and base. Okay, and neutral is also a type of nature, but mainly we are talking about acid and base. So if a substance is not acidic, or you can say it is neither acidic nor basic, then it will be neutral. So it is automatically understood. But I am talking about the acidic nature and the basic nature. So if I want to find out whether a substance is acidic or basic, then I cannot only do it by tasting it, because I told you that acid and bases are very corrosive in nature. So what it can do? It can damage our tongue. So all the time we cannot find out the nature just by tasting it. So guys, to do it, we have indicators. Okay, so indicators are the chemical substance which help to detect nature of other chemicals, and for an example, litmus solution. Litmus solution. And when I was giving you some introduction about acid and bases, then I also told you that acids are sour in nature, and if you want to find out whether a chemical substance is acid or base, then you can use litmus paper. Litmus paper. So litmus paper, let's suppose if a litmus paper is blue, then if you dip it into an acidic solution, then it will turn red. On the other hand, if you dip red litmus paper into a basic solution, then it will turn, or you can say the color of the solution will turn into blue. So because of this change of color of the litmus paper, we found out that the nature of the chemical can be acidic or it can be basic. We can just find it out by the color of the litmus paper, or by the change of the color of the litmus paper. So I hope guys the definition of the indicators have been understood by you. Now we will talk about the types of the indicators. So the first type of indicator is olfactory indicator. What is this olfactory indicator? So let's talk about this. So this olfactory word come from the word odor. Okay, this is basically smell. So guys, there are some substances whose odor changes in acidic or basic medium, and these type of substances which is telling us the nature of the chemical substance by changing its odor are known as olfactory indicators. Okay, so for your clear understanding, I'm giving you an example of this. So let's suppose, let me giving you an example of onion. So if we take a paste of onion, and if you mix this paste with an acid, then the smell of the onion paste will remain same. Okay, but if you mix this onion paste with base, then the smell will become different, or we will say the order will become change. So we can say that the substance which we mix with onion paste is basic because it changes the order of the onion paste. So I hope guys you might have understand that what is the olfactory indicators, and clove is also an example of olfactory indicators, and vanilla is also an example of olfactory indicators. So those substances whose odor changes in acidic or basic media are called olfactory indicators, and we have also seen the examples. Now guys, after understanding these olfactory indicators, let me tell you the other type of indicators as well, and those are universal indicators. Universal indicator. Let me write it here. Now what are the universal indicators? So these type of indicators not only detect the nature of other chemical but also determine their acidic or basic strength. It means it will also tell us that how much a acid is acidic, okay, and how much basic is a base. So basically these type of indicators are telling us the strength as well as the nature. So let's talk about the example. Then pH paper is a example of universal indicator. Basically this pH paper tells us the strength of H plus ion, strength of H plus ion, and we can simply determine that what is the nature of the chemical substance. So let me take you to the next slide and let's talk about what I mean to say. So universal indicators. So those indicators which not only detect nature of other chemical but also determine their acidic or basic strength. Example pH paper. So guys, this is our image of pH paper. Okay. Now you might be thinking that how can we determine the nature of the chemical substance just by this paper. So let me tell you the method. Let's suppose you have a acid inside it. There is acid. Now all you have to do, you have to put this paper, first of all tear this and then dip it into this acid. And when you dip it into this acid, then the color of this pH paper will change. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to match this color from this scale. This is basically pH scale. This is what? This is pH scale. So guys, when you match this color of this pH paper from this pH scale, then let's suppose if the color of this is red, okay, let me write it here. If the color becomes red of this pH paper, and if you match this color on this pH scale, then it will match here. Here also you can see the color is red. Okay, so it means the pH of this acid is 1. The pH of this acid is 1 and this is acidic in nature. Now you might be surprised that how did I tell you that is it acidic or basic just by telling you the pH. So it is very easy. You can also do it. How can you do it? Basically guys, this pH scale has numbering from 1 to 14. Okay, and as soon as you move ahead from 1 to 14, the acidic strength decreases and the basic strength increases. And when you reach at 7, then it becomes neutral. And when you cross this number 7, then the basic strength will start to increase. Okay, so let me again clear your concept. I want to say that from 1 to 7, if pH is between 1 to 7, then the chemical substance has acidic nature. But if the pH is from 7 to 14, then the chemical substance is basic in nature. Okay, and if a chemical substance has pH 1, it means it is very acidic, or it is much acidic. But if I talk about, let's suppose if pH of a chemical substance is 14, that means that this chemical is very basic in nature. Okay, so that's why I was telling you that a heat of 7, the pH increases, but the basic nature also increases. And before the 7, the pH decreases and acidic nature increases. Okay. And what about this 7? So at 7, the pH, or you can say the nature of the chemical substance, is neutral. Okay, neutral. And let me write it here. If you are moving like this in the direction of this arrow, that means basic strength increases, and if you move it here, that means the acidic strength increases. Okay, like this. And at 7, it is neutral. So I hope guys you might be able to understand what are the universal indicator and how do we detect the nature of a chemical substance by the use of universal indicators. Now guys, after understanding this, let's move ahead on the next slide and let's talk about the other chemical substances or the other indicators. So let's move on. Okay, so I am here and let's talk about the indicators which are written here. So the first type of indicator is red litmus paper, and I told you that if you dip this red litmus into the basic solution, then it will turn blue. But what about acids? If you dip it in acid, then it will remain red. It will not change its color. It will remain red. And what about the blue litmus? So if you dip this blue litmus into the acidic solution, then it will turn its color to red. But what about the bases? So in bases, the color of this blue litmus remain blue, like there will no change of color. So the litmus paper we have already discussed from the very first lecture. So we do not need to explain it again. But you have to remember that this is an indicator, and red litmus turns into the blue in bases and blue litmus turns into red in acid. Now guys, let's talk about the turmeric. So turmeric is a natural indicator because it is found in nature and we have not synthesized it. So guys, what happens when turmeric is mixed with acid? Then there is no change. but when you add it with bases, then it will turn red. It will turn what? It will turn red. Okay, and you have also observed it at our houses, because whenever, let's suppose, we have weared a white shirt, and if a turmeric powder has fallen in our shirt, so there is a yellow spot become in our shirt. So when you wash it, then you might have seen that that spot has changed its color to red or magenta. But when you wash it, or as soon as you wash this, then it will again turn into yellow. So why this happens? So guys, basically you can see that turmeric is an indicator. Turmeric is what? It is indicator. Okay, and when you apply soap on it, when you apply soap on the spot of turmeric, then the soap is basic in nature. The soap is basic in nature, and when you apply this base into this turmeric indicator, that we all know that turmeric change its color to red in the basic medium. So that is the reason that the yellow spot turns red. Okay, but guys, if you wash it again, or if you wash it with water, then the basic medium becomes disappeared, and the indicator, or you can say the turmeric, has got its color back, and it will again turn yellow because the soap is removed and there is no basic now, or the medium is not basic. So that's why this red will again turn into yellow. So that is the reason of the changing of the color of that yellow spot to red. Now guys, let me tell you another type of indicator, and that is phenolphthalein. This is phenolphthalein. So guys, this phenolphthalein is colorless in acid. This is colorless in acid, but when you mix it with base, then it will turn into pink, or the color will change. Okay guys, so I hope these four indicators are understood by you. Red litmus turns into blue litmus paper, or you can say turns blue in color, and blue litmus will turn into red in the acidic medium. Turmeric has no change, or has no color change in acid, but with bases it will turn into red. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acid, but in bases it will become pink. So I hope guys these things are clear to you. So after moving ahead, I want to let you know one more indicator, and that is methyl orange. Methyl orange. And I am marking a star here. This is very important. So when you add acid with methyl orange, then it will turn its color to red. Okay, but in basic nature, or in basic medium, it will turn its color into yellow. Okay, so guys, this is also very important, and you can see that methyl orange will give red color in acid, but in basic, or in bases, it will give yellow color. Okay, so I hope guys the indicators which we have seen here is completely understood by you. Now, after understanding these indicators, let's move ahead on the next slide, and let's talk about the importance of the pH in our day-to-day life. So let's see So guys, importance of pH in our everyday life. So this pH range is very important for our day-to-day life. Our body works within the pH range of 7 to 7.8. Okay. Now guys, what I'm trying to say is the pH of a blood, you can say a blood is slightly basic in nature. Okay, if sometime you have tasted your blood, then you might have observed that it is slightly bitter in taste. Why? Because it is slightly basic in nature. So a body works within the pH range of 7 to 7.8. This is very important point. Now, the living organism can only survive in a narrow range of pH. It means that the medium should not be very acidic or it should not be very basic. Okay, the pH range should be very narrow. Then only it will work. And it is not only for humans, it is for all living organisms. If I'm talking about plant, then the pH of soil should not be very acidic and also it should not be very basic. Okay, it should be moderate so that a plant can survive. Now guys, let me tell you the rain water or the acid rain. Acid rain. So guys, what is this acid rain? So basically, we all know that carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, these gases when released in atmosphere, then when it reaches above, then it react with water. It will react with water and it forms carbon dioxide will form carbonic acid. This sulfur dioxide will form sulfuric acid and nitrogen dioxide will form nitric acid. Okay, so when these acids mix with water droplet and when it reaches back to the earth, then it will corrode our monuments and it is very dangerous for our skin as well. So this type of rain where the pH of rain is less than 5.6. If it is above 5.6, then we will not call it acid rain because it is not that much harmful. But if the pH is more than 5.6, then it will be very harmful for us. You might have seen that the color of Taj Mahal has become yellowish. Why? Because of this acidic rain. This acidic rain corroded the color of Taj Mahal. I hope guys this thing is clear to you. Okay, now let's talk about the tooth decay. What I'm talking about, tooth decay, it is very important. So let's see what is tooth decay. So students, when we eat food, when we consume food, then what happens? Some part of food will stuck in our teeth. It will remain in our teeth. So this remaining food now is consumed by the bacteria in our tooth. So when these bacteria consume this remaining food, then it will produce some type of acid. Whenever bacteria consume some food, then it will produce acid. So guys, what happens? A tooth has a shiny layer of calcium phosphate. It has a shiny layer of calcium phosphate. And for your information, that calcium phosphate is the hardest substance of our body. Hardest substance of our body. So guys, what will happen when this calcium phosphate reacts with this acid? Then it will corrode the layer of calcium phosphate. Okay, this acid basically what will it do? It will corrode the layer of calcium phosphate, and now the bacteria can easily enter in the tooth and they will make their home. So you can see that there is a hole. It is made up of bacteria and the layer of the calcium phosphate is damaged. Okay, so you have to remember this thing. Then acid corrodes the layer of calcium phosphate. So now how to prevent this? How can we stop this process? So we all know that acid can only be neutralized by the bases. Okay, bases only neutralize, a bases can only neutralize acid. So guys, we do or we brush our teeth with toothpaste. So toothpaste is basic in nature. Basic in nature. So what we do when we brush our teeth, or what happens when we brush our teeth, the acid got neutralized by the basic nature of the toothpaste, and this prevents the tooth from being damaged. Okay, so I hope guys this point is clear to you, that what is tooth decay and how do we prevent it. So the pH of this acid, when it decreases with less than 5.5, if it is more than 5.5, then it is okay, but if it is less than 5.5, then it will damage all the tooth enamel. So this will become very dangerous situation. Okay, and guys, this calcium phosphate is known as tooth enamel. Tooth enamel, and the corrosion of this tooth enamel is known as tooth decay. I hope guys this thing is clear to you. Now let's move ahead on the next slide. So guys, pH in our digestive system plays a very important role. Okay, so what type of role I am talking about? Let me tell you. We all know that HCl is released in our stomach. Okay, HCl is released in our stomach. So guys, what will happen? Sometimes due to the abnormal food habit, this HCl is released in excess. And if it is released in excess, then this situation is known as acidity. Okay, because acid is being released in excess due to the abnormal food habit. Due to the abnormal food habit. So guys, let's suppose if you are going in a function, and if you are consuming lots of food which you don't consume normally. So what will happen in this condition? More acid will release, and it will become, it will put you in trouble because lots of acid is released. So this is known as acidity. Now what is the cure of this acidity? So guys, we all know that base can neutralize acid. Okay, base can neutralize acid. So we consume mild bases to prevent this, or to get relief from acidity. So guys, what are these mild bases? Let me write it here. Mild base: milk of magnesia. Milk of what? Magnesia. So the formula for milk of magnesia is MgOH whole twice. Okay, this is the formula for milk of magnesia, and this is a mild base. So this is used for the relief in the acidity. Okay, and some medicines can also be used, and these medicines which is used to prevent the excess relief of HCl are known as antacid. Antacid. Okay, it is a short form of antacid. So guys, this is used for the acidity or to prevent the acidity because it is antacid. Okay, so this is the pH in our digestive system. So guys, you might have seen that how much the pH is important in our day-to-day life. So after understanding this, let's move ahead on the next slide. Okay guys, so in this slide, we will talk about some of the examples so that we can check our knowledge what we have seen in the previous slides. So the first example is which one of the following types of medicine is used for treating indigestion. So basically this indigestion is what? Here it means acidity. Okay, so guys, we just saw that antacid is used for treating indigestion or acidity. Now guys, why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? So guys, distilled water has a pH of 7. Okay, which means it is a neutral. It is neutral. So this will not conduct electricity. But guys, rainwater is little bit acidic. It has a pH less than 7. So because it has pH less than 7, it will conduct electricity. Now guys, let's talk about the other example. Solution turn red litmus blue. Its pH is likely to be. So we all know that if red litmus paper has turned, or you can say the color of the red litmus paper has turned into blue, that means that solution is basic in nature. Okay, and if a solution is basic is in nature, then its pH should be greater than 7. So you can see A cannot be the answer because 1 is less than 7. B also cannot be the answer. C also cannot be the answer. So the right answer is D, which is 10, and 10 is more than 7. So I hope guys, whatever we have learned here have been understood by you. Now I am ending this lecture. Thank you so much guys, and we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much and bye bye.